Okay, in this video, we're going to be demonstrating how to issue a W-9 request for taxpayer information form from the eFileMagic system. So the first thing that we're going to do once we've logged into the system is navigate over to filers and down to W-9 filers. At this point, this is going to load a list of filers within the system or issuers within the system that have or will issue W-9 requests for taxpayer information forms. This may be a single company, or in the case that you own or manage many companies, it could be many companies that you're maintaining W-9 electronic information for. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and select New, and we're going to enter information about the issuer of the request. So the issuer of the request is typically you or your company. So let's go ahead and enter some fictitious information for the purpose of this video. And select Save. So at this point, we have a new issuer in the system. So now we're going to navigate to Recipients and down to Manage. You'll notice that we have not issued any requests for taxpayer information to any of our vendors or recipients within eFileMagic yet. So let's go ahead and create one. Select New. The only information at this point we need to enter in the system is the name and email address of the recipient, or partial name and full email address. So we're going to type in Chris Matt. And we're going to enter Chris at eFileMagic.com and select Save. So at this point, we have an unissued W-9 that's pending issuance in the eFileMagic system. So we're going to go ahead and issue that by selecting Release and Submit Order. We're going to review terms and conditions and go ahead and select Yes. So at this point, the system is going to create an order within the database. We now have an order, and it is going to proceed to issue an email to the recipient. Let's see if we've received that yet. Okay, looks like we have a copy of it here. So as soon as we click on this link, it's going to open a tab. And imagine that you're the recipient at this point. Now you're seeing a request for taxpayer information electronically with the information that you had previously filled in. So in this case, Chris Matt is the only information, and we're required to fill in the rest of the data. Let's go ahead and select the company type. We're going to select C Corp. Enter an address and tax ID, and then the recipient is required to electronically sign. Let's go ahead and do that. And select Submit Information. Go ahead and select Yes and Close. At this point, we can navigate back to our filer and pull up our recipient information. And it usually takes a minute or two for the information to fill in, but any second here. You'll notice now the system has updated this record post signing by the recipient. You'll notice that the recipient has electronically signed it. At this point, we can go ahead and generate a hard copy of the form if we like in PDF format. You can see it here on the screen. So at this point, the system indicates that the recipient has completed this process, and for all intents and purposes, we've received the taxpayer information. The last step is generally going to be to convert this to a filer, a 1099 filer within the system. So come year end, you've collected all of your W-9 information throughout the course of the year, and now it's time to convert that to, say, a 1099 miscellaneous form to report payments that were made to that vendor. So we can select this button right here to convert just this record, or we can navigate to Recipients and down to Convert W-9 to 1099, which allows you to convert many records at the same time. So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to convert this record. So we select here, and it's going to pop up a list of all of the companies. We've created a specific one for this video, labeled W-9 video test. So we're going to go ahead and select that one. And as soon as you've selected it, it'll say recipient has been successfully processed once it's finalized the conversion. So let's close that, and we can navigate to that particular filer and activate that filer, and then back to Manage Recipients. And you'll note that now I have a shell for a 1099 form that's ready to be filled in with appropriate amount information that's currently in an invalid state, because the system knows that you are required to enter the finality of the information for reporting purposes to the IRS. So this concludes our video on creating and issuing W-9s within the eFileMagic system.